Woe to the shepherds that scatter and draw the flock of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore the Lord God of Israel saith these things: the shepherds that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock, and have cast them out, and have not visited them. Lo, I shall visit on you the malice of your studies, saith the Lord. And I shall gather together the remnants of my flock from all lands, to which I shall cast them out thither. And I shall turn them to their fields, and they shall increase, and shall be multiplied. And I shall raise up shepherds on them, and they shall feed them. They shall no more dread, and shall not be afeared, and none shall be sought of the number, saith the Lord. Lo, days come, saith the Lord, and I shall raise a just burgeoning either seed to David, and he shall reign a king, and he shall be wise, and he shall make doom and rightfulness in earth. In those days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell trustily. And this is the name which they shall call him, the Lord our rightful. For this thing, lo, days come, saith the Lord, and they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, that led the sons of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that led out and brought the seed of the house of Israel from the land of the north, and from all lands to which I had cast them out thither, and they shall dwell in their own land. To the prophets, mine heart is contrite, either all broken for sorrow in the midst of me. All my bones trembled together. I am made as a man drunken, and as a man wet of wine, of the face of the Lord, and of the face of the holy words of him. For the land is filled with adulterers, for the earth mourned of the face of cursing. The fields of desert be made dry, the course of them is made evil, and their strength is unlike. For why the prophet and priest be defiled, and in mine house, saith the Lord, I found the evil of them. Therefore the way of them shall be as a slidery thing in darknesses, for they shall be hurtled, either shoved, and shall fall down therein. For I shall bring on them evils, the year of visitation of them, saith the Lord. And the prophets of Samaria I saw fondness, and in the prophets of Samaria I saw fondness, and they prophesied in Baal, and deceived my people Israel. And in the prophets of Jerusalem I saw likeness, adultery, and the way of leasing, and they comforted the hands of the worst men, that each man should not convert from his malice. All they be made as Sodom to me, and the dwellers of thereof be made as Gomorrah. Therefore the Lord of hosts saith these things to the prophets: Lo, I shall feed them with wormwood, and I shall give drink to them with gall. For my defouling is gone out of the prophets of Jerusalem on all the land. The Lord of hosts saith these things: Do not ye hear the words of prophets that prophesy to you and deceive you? They speak the vision of their heart, not of the mouth of the Lord. They say to them that blaspheme me, The Lord spake, peace shall be to you. And they said to each man that goeth in the shrewdness of his heart, Evil shall not come on you. For why? Who is present in the counsel of the Lord, and saw and heard his word? Who beheld and heard the word of him? Lo, the whirlwind of the Lord's indignation shall go out, and tempest breaking shall come on the head of the wicked men. The strong vengeance of the Lord shall not turn again, till that he do, until that he fill the thought of his heart. In the last days he shall understand the counsel of him. I sent not the prophets, and they ran. I spake not to them, and they prophesied. If they had stood in my counsel, and had made known my words to my people, forsooth, I had turned them away from their evil way, and from their worst thoughts. Guessest thou whether I am God of nigh, saith the Lord, and not God afar? A man shall not be privy in hid places, and I shall not see him, saith the Lord, whether I fill not heaven and earth, saith the Lord. I heard what things the prophets said, prophesying leasing in my name, and saying, I dreamed dreams. How long is this thing in the heart of prophets, prophesying leasing, and prophesying the deceit of their heart, which will make that my people forget my name for the dreams of them, which each man telleth to his neighbor, as the fathers of them forget my name for Baal. A prophet that hath a dream, tell a dream, and he that hath my word, speak verily my word. What is with chaff to the wheat, saith the Lord? Whether my words be not as fire burning, saith the Lord, and as an hammer all breaking a stone? Therefore, lo, I am ready to the prophets, saith the Lord, that steal my words, each man from his neighbor. Lo, I to the prophets, saith the Lord, that take their tongues and say, the Lord saith. Lo, I to the prophets, dreaming leasing, saith the Lord, which told them, and deceived my people in their leasing, and in their miracles, when I had not sent them, neither had commanded to them, which profited nothing to this people, saith the Lord. Therefore, if this people, either prophet, either priest, asketh thee, and saith, what is the burden of the Lord? Thou shalt say to them, ye be the burden, for I shall cast you away, saith the Lord. And a prophet, and a priest, and the people, that saith, the burden of the Lord, I shall visit on that man, and on his house. Ye shall say these things, each man to his neighbor, and to his brother, what answered the Lord, and what spake the Lord? For the burden of the Lord shall no more be remembered, and the word of each man shall be a burden to him. And ye have perverted the words of living God, of the Lord of hosts, your God. Thou shalt say these things to the prophet, what answered the Lord to thee? What spake the Lord? For sooth if ye say, the burden of the Lord, for this thing the Lord saith these things. For ye said this word, the burden of the Lord, and I sent to you, and I said, do not ye say the burden of the Lord. Therefore, lo, I shall take you away, and shall bear, and I shall forsake you. And the city which I gave to you, and to your fathers from my face, that I shall give you into everlasting shame, and into everlasting scandal, that shall never be done away by forgetting.